So, are you living your truth from your true self? Or are you living a lie from your false self? Carl Jung talks about finding yourself as a process of individualization. I want to talk to you about this as we enter into a July 4th weekend, which is all about freedom and independence. My name is Nina Zapala. I'm here to talk about personality typing with the spiritual understanding. So today, I'm asking the question, are you living from your true self, the truth of who you really are? Or are you living a lie from your false self, separated from the true self, from the spark of divine light that lives within all of us, that seed that has been planted? Because when we live from a place of individualism and we tap into that light love that's in us, that seed, that spark, that's prompted by light, that's prompted by love, which is all sourced from divine intelligence, we harness the genius. We harness the purpose and the whys of why we're here. Because we're living from our truth. I think so much of today's society, and I was part of it until I separated from this path of illusion and a fear-based reality that's prompted on unending desires that are never really fulfilled. Because once you reach one status, then you're told to reach the other, and the other, and the other. You go to grade school, you went to middle school, you go to high school, you go to college, you get the corner office, the white picket fence, the luxury cars. What's next? And can you see how that's so related to the external world? A world that's very mind-led. Now, of course, we have minds because we're here on planet Earth, and I believe we chose our personalities, which indicates a lot of behaviors that runs through our minds. We're very complicated people. I don't believe that divine intelligence ever wanted us to live our lives led by our minds. Because there's no freedom in that. There's no independence in that. Because we get involved in this vast network of systems, of other people's thoughts, of other people's expectations. And we kind of mold ourselves into this way of being. And I'll give you a great example. When I was in the world of PR, and I've told you this, I was very successful. I still dabble in it a little bit because I love it. But at the time, of course, during my time in the industry, it was rare that a PR person would actually sit at the table, which I managed to do. But I'll tell you what, at what cost. And it was also just expected that the way to gain credibility in the PR industry is to accept this New York state of mind. And what I'm saying about this is the vast majority of really successful agencies were on the East Coast at the time. There were some on the West Coast, but it was a totally different, entity. And a lot of it was the New York agencies had offices in California and so forth because that's where their clients were. So that morphed more for geographical, and logical reasons. during this time, as a PR professional, I kept on being told, you have to be a hitter, you need to hustle, you know, just get the client what they want, you know. Okay, so where was the consumer in all that? It wasn't consumer facing at all. And that was during this time when I was in PR. And what happened is I became very successful. I won awards. I mean, I had clients in New York Times, Sports Illustrated, Wall Street Journal, Fast Company, Condé Nast, Travel and Leisure, Elite Magazine. Think of a magazine, my clients were in it. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying how much I lost myself in an effort to meet some exterior world expectation. I became this hustling New York PR professional. And the people that really know me know that I'm kind of like this boho. I am very intellectual. I like to learn. I don't say intellectual from a scholared, degreed term. I'm an intellectual because I'm a seeker of knowledge. So I always want to learn. And I think that's what made me so good in PR too, because I knew so much, because I would read and read and read and read. So and my personality type, of course, is very future facing. So I would gather all the information, see the patterns, possibility, and opportunities, and I'd put it to work, right? And I was usually right, because it was my gift. And I'm not apologizing for that anymore. I'm not saying, oh, you can't be right. I was right. That's how I was winning awards. I was really good at my job. But there's a caveat. What began to happen is I so embraced this New York style of hustle and bustle that it became part of my life. And it exhausted me. And it didn't make me happy. Yes, I was winning the awards. Yes, I had the car. Yes, I was making the 3 figures. Blah, 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 blah. The clothes, whatever. I had all this stuff, right? But with all this stuff came this underlying anxiety and unhappiness in my life, in my marriage. I felt like I neglected my son because I was so looking out to what's the next thing, what's the next climb, what's the next thing to make me successful. I mean, what is society expecting me to do next? I wasn't following my soul. I'd lost my freedom. I'd lost my independence because I gave it all away to the powers of the external world. And really, what I'm here to teach you today is what I went through. I went through 7 very challenging, relentless change, disruption. And it was very hard. I mean, it was like people say the dark night of the soul, you know. It was a shit show. Let's just say what it is. It was just a shit show. And I can laugh about it now because on the other side was the love light. So you have to shed the grip of darkness, of evil, whatever you want to call it, because it was gripping me hard. It was luring me with the false beliefs of my childhood. I can't have enough. I won't be enough. There's not enough. Which are all false beliefs. So you see how like all this temptation, and it becomes easy because the fear just lures you to that level of unconsciousness, that level of separation. So your energy goes down. And so when your energy goes down, I'm just telling you, you are, oh, sorry, I'm shaking this. You are a lot more susceptible to fear, to the negative energies, to corruptions, to believing somebody else knows better than you. I know I did it. But I also got myself untangled from it. That's what I'm talking about in the blog this week, is you have to find your truth. The who of who you really are. Your true self, your soul self, your higher self. I don't care what you want to call it. It is that spark that's within you, that love light that connects you to divine intelligence. And when you start vibrating and getting yourself on this higher energy level, you're going to start stepping out of all the craziness we're going through right now, all the chaos, all the fear, all the disruptions. You know, you're going to die. No food. I mean, listen to how you're being talked to. None of that comes from love. And none of that comes from understanding the human mind. It does from a corrupted, evil state. Gas prices are high. I mean, listen to what we're being fed every day. So we need to kind of flip that switch off, turn it off, know what's going around, and I want you to start getting into your truth. Because when you start doing this, you start receiving those messages from divine intelligence and you'll be guided. But the easiest way to start this process, and this is what I know for sure, because this is how I did it. This is how I walked myself. I didn't run. I first crawled. I had to start all over again, right? I had to crawl, then walk, then run. And how I did that is I really started with my personality type. Because we're so led to think we are supposed to lead our lives through logical thinking, and that's a false belief. And what I really found during my 7-year life tsunami, and thank God I had a spiritual mentor, Dr. June Lee Nix, who implanted these beautiful seeds in me years before, that I could rely on that knowledge. And what I did is I took her teachings, and when I was going through my 7-year life tsunami, I started applying them because it was the time for me to hear them, and they made sense to me. So what I now realize and what I now know for sure is that your personality type is a tool, just like a zodiac, just like the Enneagram, the 4 types of layers of love, whatever that is. All these things are tools you can use to align with your soul self, right? They're just tools. And what happens is your personality type was gifted to you to support your soul's evolution. Saying it again. Your personality type was gifted to you to support your soul's evolution. Your personality type has indicators within it that prompts specific behaviors, specific actions, specific characteristics, all of which are needed. All of them are needed to prompt, to allow your soul to express itself and its purpose through you. And it needs those specific traits and indicators and characteristics to do that for you. But see, what we haven't learned through personality typing is that we're multidimensional beings. So we're multidimensional beings. So with that said, is yes, your soul will get divinely inspired inspiration. And it will express that through your personality type into your personality. What we also must consider is our life experiences. Your childhood, your relationship experiences, your career experiences, your online experiences. Because so many of us live digitally now, which we'll talk about that in greater detail another time, but I'm not recommending that you do that in any great extent. You can do it, get off, go outside, take a walk. Organic. Be in organic nature. It is the most renewing thing you can do, especially if you're experiencing mental health, depression, extreme anxiety, overwhelm. You don't know what to do. Go get out in nature and sit under a tree and ask the damn tree. I am not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. Get into that zone. Get into what's really real, and it is nature. It is with your friends. And if it's not your family, create your own family. It's so much more beneficial to you. But back to this personality type thing, you really must understand that your personality type, oh, it's going to rain and thunder, I love it. Your personality type is just the tool that you were gifted with in your soul's evolution on this life. So when you start figuring all this stuff out, and it's not as complicated as you think, I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. I do one-on-one sessions to help you. I have loads of blogs, posts that you can go in and start reading and learning and reading. It's all free. Get on my YouTube channel. It's all free. So I don't want you to spend, $10,000 a month to work with me. I want you to learn this. Because if we don't all find our truth, if we don't figure out who we are, who we truly are, how are we going to evolve this beautiful planet, our beautiful existence to the next level? How are we going to do that? Don't you want a seat at that table? Don't you want to be part of the evolving, beautiful world that we can co-create, that I can co-create with you? You can co-create with whomever. So it's interesting, and Carl Jung speaks to that too, because he speaks to when you get on this path of individualism, right? And you're working in step with your genius and what you're here for, as he did, you can help support communities of people that need your work, that need your understandings, that need your wisdom. Wisdom and knowledge is only gained through experiences. I don't care how many books you read. When I was in nursing, I'd go in and the nurses would freak out because we'd get in there like, oh, what can we do? Like, step back and observe. You have no experience. You're not touching patients. Half the crap you learn is wrong. So just step back. And I'm like, that was really interesting. And so I pulled a nurse and I said, we're learning all this stuff. She goes, yeah, it's all bullshit. You have to experience stuff to really step in here and do this right. I'm like, I get it. And that's a true story, and that's a true thing. Like, I wouldn't have experienced all the personal growth I've experienced it without going through my 7 years life tsunami, without being in a ridiculously crazy life. And I don't want to get too personal because I just don't, for right now. When I do a membership, we'll talk deep. But, you cannot experience personal growth unless you're going through and experiencing the fears and acknowledging them and sitting with them and learning from them, because they're not real. Fear is not real. It's a falsity. It's a manipulation. It is a control. It is a scare tactic. The only thing that's real is your soul, your internal soul. That's what's real, and that's what I want you to connect into. So I'm here to clarify that I want you to re-see Myers-Briggs through a spiritual looking glass. I want you to re-see Myers-Briggs through a spiritual looking glass. And what I mean by that, I want you to flip your life script. I want you to start living your life led by your soul. That's directed by divine intelligence. And then let that express through your personality type. Because I'm telling you, I probably should be going in pretty soon, but I'm telling you, each personality type has so much gifts, so much positivity, so much to give to the world. And Myers-Briggs has really become bastardized. It's the 4x4 little squares with a little saying, oh, you're this or you're this. I'm like, what the hell? I am not a 4x4 square. Don't stereotype me and don't simplify who I am, because I'm a very complex, multidimensional being. You can't express what my soul is and what my evolution is connected to my personality in a 4x4 square. Again, that's the external world manipulating what Carl Jung created. He created a beautiful, beautiful philosophy and theories on this. And even Myers-Briggs extrapolated it, and they really wanted it for the betterment of society. And again, it's been manipulated and construed as a way for big businesses to use personality typing to dismiss people that they don't seem to like or that they don't get along with. And that's where growth is. That's what's so fun. When you start seeing your truth and then you start seeing what's going out in the world, you just laugh because you're like, oh my gosh, this is so ridiculous. And it's really evil in so many ways, how we are being so manipulated. So I really understand all of the concern and the angst and the overwhelm and the depression. There is a solution. It starts with figuring out your personality type and how it's here to support your soul growth. It's what it is. So, on the blog this week, we are celebrating the 4th of July here in the United States. And I think it's very symbolic. If you just see the symbolism just in that the United States wanted to remove themselves, to separate themselves from the tyranny and overseeing and overlords of a monarchy. Brave people stood up and said no, just like they're doing today. They're saying, no, you don't control me. I am gifted with freedom. I am an individual. Yes, I am an individual here to serve with love and be part of a loving world, not a greed-filled world with the concern of money and control and power. No. So there's great symbolism in that, because how many of us are doing that too? How many of us are feeling we're being controlled and manipulated by work, by our partners, by what our family dictates, these expectations? So there's great symbolism in this. So what I did is I went through and I just gave like a little sneak peek in each personality type. And I looked at your truth. What's your truth? What's your personality type? What's your truth? This is through my lens. Only my lens. So when you read this stuff, it's just to get you thinking. It's just to get you out of what you've been dictated to, how you've been manipulated, and to shed some light, to get that love light back and spotlighted on you. So it's to get you thinking. Now, I've been studying personality typing for 10 years, so I feel like I'm pretty spot on with some of this, but I would be so arrogant to think like I knew everyone's truth. That'd be just ridiculous. But that's what we're taught. Oh, talk to the guru because they know everything. But really, how do they know? I can't know 7 billion people on the planet. What I do know is there are 7 billion people on the planet. But you as an individual have your own love light unlike anybody else's. And that's what you're here to share. So I hope you enjoy this blog. There's some journal prompts in the blog as well. But things are starting to get a little crazy here, so I need to sign off before I get struck by lightning, because I'm sitting in a metal chair, which is like, whoops. But you guys, I really, really, really want you to start finding out, and not even finding out, just like I said, re-seeing who you are. It's embracing the non-physical aspects of yourself, your instincts, your gut instincts, your intuition, serendipitous moments. Yes, life can be illogical, but take the step anyway. Walk into the unknown and embrace it, because that's where all the good stuff is. We're not taught that. We're taught to, no, do this, 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 and this. Shuts down, just shuts you down. And then we wonder why we're like feeling crappy and depressed. And we don't have the verve of life because we've shut off the best aspects of ourselves. I want you to turn it all back on. I want you to turn your love light on. That spark within you, that seed, that spark of divine that's within you. We all have it. All of us have it. One person, you are just as great as anybody else on this planet, and don't ever think differently, because you are. You are. I'm telling you. So enjoy the blog. If you like this, please subscribe, share, show my channel some love. Show that light love to my channel. But I appreciate this. I hope you guys are getting something from these videos, because it's so important now in this day and age that you find your love light, your divine spark within. You find it, and then you be it. You don't be what somebody else wants you to be. Because if you're being what somebody else wants you to be, then you're telling their story. You're not here to tell somebody else's story. You're here to write your own story. All right? Well, for all the people in the United States, I want to say happy July 4th. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you enjoy the blog. Do the journal prompts. It's a good time. It's a long weekend. Take some time. Explore this stuff. Get you thinking. We need you. We need what you have. Because I don't care how little it is, we're all connected by energy. So if you add your piece of energy and I add my piece of energy, it just keeps on. Look at that. It grows and it expands. Fear does just the opposite. Fear presses down, pushes you down, pushes you down, pushes you down. That's a very negative effect. It negates who you are. It puts you into a box. You're a multidimensional soul. You've been created by divine intelligence. Who's created this? Just this planet should blow your mind. But to think of the galaxies and the billions of years this has all been going on, and we come on Earth and go, oh, well, we know. Oh, do we? You know, when you start thinking of it like that, it's kind of funny. And we've been taught that. And then, like I said before, once you start seeing this, you kind of laugh and go, is this freaking real? Like, really? No. Anyway, I wanted to show you my shirt because I love it. My sister got me this. It's my 4th of July poodle shirt. Isn't it cute? My sister and I are poodle freaks. Yes, she has 4. I have 1 right now. And I'm sticking with 1. But anyway, guys, I really want this for you. It really is my desire. It's what I'm here to do. So happy July 4th to everybody in the United States. And for everybody else, this message still should resonate, because it's all about seeking your independence, seeking your individuality, knowing who you truly are so you can serve from your highest self, your community, and what you're here to do. All right? All for now. Bye.